had two sisters go before me, and having shared a lot of life experiences, I think some of this might be a little bit redundant, so I might clip out a few things. But first I want to thank everybody for coming. Thank you so much, and for Sacred Heart for honoring me tonight with my sisters. It's been really great to be honored with my two sisters. I really wouldn't have it any other way. Well, a lot's changed since I attended school here, obviously with the building and beautiful field and everything. And just like Laura had mentioned, when I started high school here in 1987, I think there was about 300 students in the entire school. So with that being said, the sports teams were also very small too. I swam for the Sacred Heart varsity squad for 4 years. While many of my swim team experiences have since washed from my mind from too much chlorine, I do remember my two best friends, Heather Fox and Dulcie Teft, on the team with me, and they're here with me today. I also remember getting out of my last period class to attend the travel meet, so that was always kind of fun. And another thing that I remember quite vividly was the bus ride down the hill. It looked as if we would drive right over the edge of the cliff, so that really made a big impression on my mind. My most notable achievements on the swim team were going to CIF for 4 years in a row and scoring points for our school. My first CIF experience was shared with my older sister Laura, and she was a senior and I was a freshman. And I believe that we might have been the only two swimmers to qualify for individual events that year, but some other girls went so that we could have a relay. I also held the team record for the 100 backstroke, which was kind of surprising because that was my worst stroke. And I know tonight that I'm being honored as an athlete, but participating on the swim team was secondary to me. My number one priority was academics, just as Katie had mentioned earlier. Now, I wasn't class valedictorian like Melissa, but getting a good education was very important to me. And when people today ask me what the best thing about Sacred Heart is, I always tell them that Sacred Heart really prepared me for college. Compared to my high school class demands, college almost seemed easy, which was a good thing because I was on a 4-year swimming scholarship at LaSalle University in Philadelphia. And swimming was then my job, and it was very demanding and not just something to do for fun. So I have swimming and Sacred Heart to thank for learning how to manage my time wisely. And girls out there, required service hours. Does the mention of these words make you cringe? Well, I know they did for me when I was a Sacred Heart student. How in the world was I going to help other people when I had such a busy life and my main focus was to help myself? I didn't know it at the time, but God was calling me to a life of service. Going into my freshman year of college, I declared myself an elementary education major. After completing my classroom studies at LaSalle, I was sent to the Philadelphia Public School to student teach. And talk about trying. After many tears and many phone calls home to California, my mom knows I cried every night, I knew it was my calling to proceed and to teach young children. I did not give up on my dream. I taught at St. Bernard Catholic School in Philadelphia for several years, where I also volunteered with their little tiny swim program. Before returning home with my husband, we came back to California. I also taught at Holy Family as a long-term substitute, and then I found myself back at St. Bede, where I had started my Catholic education. I've also served my local community by coaching swimming at La Cañada Country Club and also at Oakmont Country Club. And it's so rewarding to share your knowledge that you have with today's youth. This is my reward in life, to be happy in the successes of my pupils. Sacred Heart has shown me that it's about giving of myself to causes that you believe in. And that's why today, as a parent in the community, I volunteer my time at my kids' schools, and I also volunteer at the Rose Bowl Aquatic Center, where my daughter Caitlin and my son Michael, they're thriving in the sport of swimming. And last but certainly not least, Sacred Heart was a large stone in the path of my Catholic life. And as I mentioned before, I started school, my elementary education at St. Bede, continued here at Flintridge Sacred Heart, and then on to the Catholic College, LaSalle University. Because I have such a strong foundation in my faith, I feel that one of life's most important lessons is to stay true to yourself. Never compromise your beliefs because they may not be cool, and always have the courage to stand up for what is right, even though it might be difficult to do so. My adult life has taken me back to the Catholic schools to teach, where I hope that I've instilled Catholic values in my own students. Hard work, service, and Christian values. This is what I take from my experiences at Sacred Heart. I need to close with some last thank yous. Thank you to my coaches and teachers here at Sacred Heart. Your dedication is greatly appreciated. Thank you to my family and friends who have come here tonight to support me, especially my two best friends that I mentioned, Heather Fox and Dulcie Teft. Of course, my mom and dad and my grandmother, who supported me in every way throughout my high school education. And my last thank you to Sacred Heart for bestowing such a great honor upon me and inviting me to speak